Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Basement Boys podcast. I'm Chris Gray. That's Devin Mitchell, and we're going to get right into it as usual. And I'm just going to be honest, the past few weeks, like week and a half since our last episode, I've really just been hating the world. Everyone's pissing me off, and we're going to start off with that today. Couple things that have been out a little while longer, and we'll get to the other things that are pissing me off later. First of all, I see everyone out here. Some people are posting the Bill Clinton photos, the ones with him with the sex trafficking victim of Jeffrey Epstein's that he said he never met. Some people tweeting out pictures of Trump with Epstein and showing how he told Ghislaine Maxwell that he wished her well and all this stuff. And like, don't get me wrong, I am not mad at anyone bringing these subjects to the forefront. What I'm mad at is this stupid little game everyone's playing, not just the left, not just the right. Every single person seems to be playing this game of, well, my pedophile is better than your pedophile. Shut the fuck up. A pedophile is a pedophile is a pedophile, and even if you're not necessarily the pedophile and you're just enabling pedophiles, that's the same fucking thing in my book. Shut the fuck up. Do not go after Trump for saying what he said, for saying that he wished Ghislaine Maxwell well, while trying to defend these photos of Bill Clinton. Do not go after Bill Clinton while trying to defend Trump over wishing her well and associating with these people. I don't care. Don't try to say to me, oh, one of them just associated with the people and, enabled them by telling them that he wished them well, which that's what it is. It's enabling them. It's the same fucking thing in my book. Whether you're the person actually doing it or you're the person enabling it, you are just as culpable in my book. I really don't care.
Let me break it down for them real quick. Did anyone stop him? Did anyone try to make attempts to stop him? No. Y'all just as fucking guilty. Y'all fucking enable a pedophile. When the hell did we become a society that's like, oh, hey, you like little kids? You're going to abuse them? We're going to let you slide, you know? No. Fuck that shit.
As long as you're on the same political spectrum as me, I don't care what you do. Yeah. That's fucking bullshit.
I'm sorry. Maybe because I come from a code where you touch little kids, your ass going to get kicked. Like, that's it. Clear as day. No gray area. You touch little kids, you're going to get your ass whooped. That's the bottom line. I don't give a shit if he's funding your campaign or this one's on your side of the political spectrum. They enabled him to hurt little kids.
I do not care if you like their music. I do not care if... I don't even fucking know. If they were your hero when you were a kid, before you found all this out, I don't care. A pedophile is a pedophile is a pedophile. Shut the fuck up and stop defending them. I don't care.
Right there with you. Fucking they can catch these hands if they want. You know where to find me.
And then the second topic that has been just eating me up the past few weeks is the sad and terrible case. I forget everyone's name right now. Like I said, I'm a bit frustrated. I'm a bit angry. I've kind of been waiting to do the podcast this week just to be able to vent some of this shit out. But it was there was a little boy. I think he was about 3. And a man just walked up and shot him.
Cannon, forgive me for butchering this boy's name. It's Cannon Hinat, I believe. And he was 5 years old.
So young Cannon, 5 years old, gets shot. And again, it's not one side, it's not the other side. Everyone's doing things that are fucked up in their own way. So first, you have the people trying to use this against the Black Lives Matter movement, saying, oh, this black guy shot this little white boy. Why is no one protesting for him? Why is no one ever blah, 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 blah. And again, like, what are you talking about? This kid got shot and it was tragic. But then the next day, his murderer was arrested, charged with murder, and is on his way to seeing the justice he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
That is all anyone in the Black Lives Matter movement is asking for. For when these things happen, when people get murdered, give them the justice they deserve. And then the people on the left side are trying to counter this point, which I get. It's a stupid point. I'd want to counter it too. But making it out like, oh, some little white boy gets shot and the whole world's up in arms. Again, shut the fuck up. This is a child.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, this is a child. He has nothing to do with any of this. I understand that you're mad that once it comes from their side, they want to talk about it. I understand. But don't trivialize this child's life just to make a point on your own part.
I mean, at the end of the day, all we want is justice. And we want everyone to be treated properly, fairly, with the justice they deserve. So that means if you go up and you kill someone, cops come, they arrest you, they bring you in, you get your justice you deserve. If anyone gets shot, gets murdered, commits a criminal act, a felony, if you will, they get arrested, they get brought to trial, get the justice they deserve. At the end of the day, that's all we want. Is this justice for everybody.
And stop just using innocent lives as fodder for your political campaigns. I'm just... It actually, like, it fucking, like, hurts me. Like, I'm getting a little emotional right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah. And just, everyone's trash. I hate the world right now. And if you have a problem with anything I just fucking said, you can come fucking see me. And I mean that.
2020 can go suck a dick.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And then finally, the third thing that is just the newest in a long string of things that just make me fucking hate the world these days. The shooting of Jacob Blake. Just, I don't know what we can say that hasn't already been said at this point. Just another man shot, like, unjustly and for no reason. He didn't die, thank God, but he's going to be paralyzed for the rest of his life. I can't anymore. I really can't.
Yeah, it's just a fucked up situation. You know, like, it's horrible that this just seems to be happening. And it wasn't even like, one shot, even two. He was shot at 7 times. 4 of the bullets hit his back. Like, you had 3 officers there, I believe, and they couldn't, like, subdue him. It's just like, we as a country need to take a long, hard look at.
For walking away from something that he had nothing to do with.
Yeah. Like,
just trying to leave, just trying to not be involved.
I don't know if, like, we need longer, the police academy needs to be a longer program instead of just like a 6-month program. I don't know if, officers need yearly training or something like that, but something's got to change because this is happening far too often. And it's getting ridiculous, like we're seeing senseless acts of violence. And
Murder.
There's murder. And there's got to be like there's other ways. There's got to be other ways. And the one part that really pissed me off, or irritated me, I should say, is I think it was the day or two later, and you had this 17-year-old Kyle
Rittenhouse.
Thank you. Walking the streets of Kenosha with her AR-15. By my standards, I'm pretty sure that's a illegal gun. You can't have that. And
traveled across state lines, illegal.
Yep. Had just shot someone. People were running behind him shouting, he just shot someone. He just shot someone. And nothing happens. Like, he just calmly walks up to the police and they take him in a little while later. Like, but the man is walking with a loaded gun, for all we know, in plain sight.
That's another thing that's making me hate the world, because I'm also seeing people try to defend him, saying it was self-defense. The guy drove over 60 miles to a place with a gun with the intent to use it. And then, after he shot someone in the face, people attacked him to try to take his gun away. What would you do if you saw someone shoot someone in the fucking face? All your little graphics I see you sharing on Facebook or where the fuck ever always seem to forget the fact that he shot someone in the face before he was attacked. I swear to God, you are mentally incapable if you are trying to defend this man. And then, not only does he walk by police, not only do they thank him for being there, he gets to drive home, sleep in his bed, and turn himself in the next day. That would never happen for anyone of a different race.
Nope.
I don't care how old you are. All right, so kind of bringing it together and all back to sports, we have the professional sports leagues reactions to these events happening in Kenosha. Obviously at the forefront, the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA and the WNBA for that matter. This all started with while they were preparing for their game on Friday, I believe. Was the first day?
Wednesday?
Oh, Wednesday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Wednesday.
All the days starting to blend into one at this point. Yeah. On Wednesday, when they were preparing for the game, they decided they were just not going to take the court. They weren't going to play as a protest for the Jacob Blake shooting. And then that created somewhat of a domino effect with all the rest of the teams in the NBA, the WNBA, certain, at least one MLB game, I think.
3, actually.
3.
Yeah.
All just postponing their games, saying we're not playing. If you don't want to have this conversation, you're not going to be able to enjoy this.
I mean, I was going to say kudos to the Bucks for just being like, you know what? Things need to change, and we're going to use our platform and not play and bring this to the forefront to make sure that it's still being talked about. It's not just like, oh, hey, brand new day. Let's forget it, move on, make some money for these owners and executives. No, let's actually bring it notice to what's going on. And it's not just affecting, people over here in this neighborhood or people over here in this neighborhood. It's affecting the whole world. Let's be real. Excuse me.
They and also kind of what's another thing that's been just getting to me this week is the people even saying this, oh, keep it out of entertainment. This is here to entertain us and like to get us all away from all the bad shit. No, all you're basically saying is now that it affects you, you have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm. And listen, those people that are, don't want entertain all this, political talk or current events happening. I mean, being brought up in entertainment and everything. Well, I'm sorry, but wake up, because that's what's been happening for years, way before all of this. All types of political conversations always got brought up into sports. Whatever the climate was outside always got brought up into entertainment and sports. It's just a way it goes.
You're just mad it's affecting you.
Yeah.
That's all you care about.
I mean, look at like back in the 60s, in 64 when Muhammad Ali wins the world heavyweight title, changes his name from Cassius Clay because he does not want to be associated with his slave name, and becomes Cassius X and then Muhammad Ali. And then you got the 1968 Olympics where, oh God, forgive me, I want to say Tony Johnson. Fuck, I forgot their names and stuff. But after they won the medals, they put on the glove and did the Black Power salute.
And got their medals taken away for it.
Yep.
Just side note real quick, I'm actually super impressed with you right now for bringing up a boxing fact that I didn't even know.
Don't thank me, thanks Max Kellerman, because I heard him say it yesterday. I just repeated it.
I didn't even know that he changed his name to Cassius X, I think you said?
Yep.
Before he changed it to Muhammad Ali.
Yep.
So, you get a gold star for today, Dev.
Fuck yeah. Every now and then I do some research. Thank you, Max Kellerman.
Yeah, and then the MLB, no, not the MLB, the NBA PA, and just basically all the players got together to decide what they were going to do next, with apparently the Lakers and Clippers voting to just cancel the whole season, say fuck it, we're not playing, fuck all y'all. And I completely get their point there. But the rest of the league saying basically from what I've read and listened to or whatever, they're basically, the main point was, we've sacrificed so much coming down to this bubble, trying to make this happen during a national pandemic. how are we going to give this up now?
Mm-hmm.
Which again, I cannot blame them for that. They've risked a lot. They've traveled into basically the epicenter of this place. They didn't know how well the bubble was going to work. And they're making it happen. They're secluding themselves. They're doing everything. They can't go out and do whatever they want. They can't be with their families. I think that's lightened up a little bit now that it's the playoffs and there's less teams. Like, I think they can somehow get their families in there for at least short periods of time.
Yep.
But just going through all that just to throw it all away, and even if it's for a good cause, you know what I mean? I understand them wanting to see it through. But I think it's also, I think either way they do it, I feel like the point was made.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've put the world on notice saying, hey, at any time, we can shut this off. We can, like, we run this. The reason you want to see this is because of us.
Right.
Anytime we feel like it, if our demands are not met, this all goes away. Sure, you could get scrub players, you could get whatever, but it's not going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
We watch it because it's the best of the best.
I will say, I'm loving how the NBA is actually open about this and handling it. Because I believe it was on Wednesday after the postponement of all the games scheduled for that day. All the players got together, coaches too, Adam Silver, and like they had big conference call and they hashed it out, or they came up with a plan and blah blah blah. And then on Thursday, they kept it going. So there was that open line of communication, and even the owners, I'm not sure if all the owners, but I know some of the owners and Michael Jordan were all there. And Jordan was being the middleman between them. Because at one point, let's not forget, he was the face of the league. And now he is an owner of a small market team, respected on both sides. You know, so it's like if Jordan's saying, yo, let's let them speak. Let's hear them out before we as owners come up with a solution. Let's hear what they want done. That takes you gotta listen to the man.
And that's the other thing, because he is also the only majority black owner in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So just another reason why he's actually the perfect liaison, because he literally checks all the boxes. And it's nice to see Jordan just stepping up in his old age, because one of his biggest criticisms during his playing days was that he would never get behind anything. It was basketball only, and that's part of the reason he became so great. But as he gets older, and he has adult black children now, people who have to go through the stuff that we're talking about and the world is now talking about, he's really came around and started understanding that no, he has to talk about this, whether he likes it or not. And you can only commend the guy for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now that we've been depressing for about 20 minutes or so, let's turn from real world depressing, I guess, to sports depressing. And that is with our New York Yankees, who are just, once again, it seems like every year we go in supposed to have the best team in the league by far, and then the entire team falls apart.
Yeah, man. I mean, not to sound cliche, but another one bites the dust. every week someone's getting hurt, getting sent to the IL, and it
It's
just
like a complete
sucks.
repeat of last season.
Yeah, except we don't have 162 games to bounce back. You miss
I
5
mean,
games, you fucked. Well, not really, but like it's not looking pretty.
I still believe we'll make the playoffs, and even if we're the lowest seed, as long as we're in the playoffs and we can get the people healthy by then, like it's not going to make a difference where we're seated, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But just another year, another super string of injuries, and you have to start questioning Aaron Judge at this point. No
Look,
one's
you
questioning his skill, no one's questioning his heart, no one's questioning how much he wants to win. Because offensively, defensively, whether it's hitting the home run or working for a walk to get on base, the kid is a fucking difference maker. When he's on the field, the the other team's on notice.
mm-hmm.
They know they have to be that much better to come away with the victory that day. But I think it was Herm Edwards who said the best ability is availability.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't been available
Yeah.
for long stretches of time. And you really have to start questioning whether he will ever be on the field long enough to really pose the threat that he's supposed to.
Right. I mean, you're not going to argue his toughness because let's be real. If it was up to him, he would go out there and play every inning of ball he could. But unfortunately, whether it's being a calf strain, like his latest injury, the broken rib, I think from the end of last season, to all the other plethoras of injuries that he's had to endure over his short career in the majors. Like, because what? He's only been in the league 4 years, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he spent time on the IL now every part of those 4 years. And it's not even like, all right, like,
I don't think the first year because I think he got brought up late.
okay,
Wasn't that the year that
they weren't supposed to win it or they weren't supposed to
yeah,
be
but
good.
it was also like it was like the year after they bought out A-Rod's contract and like stuff like that, wasn't it? Or am I
Maybe.
thinking of
Oh,
Sanchez?
was that the same year they traded away Chapman or they traded for Chapman?
I don't think so.
No?
I might be thinking of Gary Sanchez because I know
Okay.
he came up in that year, but I thought they came up together. But he
I
might have
thought they
been
did.
the next year.
I honestly link those two together.
Anyway,
Well, yeah, we digress.
yeah.
But yeah, you might have to wonder if he's just gonna be labeled injury prone for
I mean, he's
like,
definitely like already labeled injury prone.
but one's got to wonder if what could have been if he wasn't hurt so much, and not just with it's major injuries too.
And that's the thing. Like, that's the type of stuff you have to worry about with a guy. Like everyone talks about how like tall he is and how like muscular he is, but these are the things you have to worry about with people like that. Having that extra weight, being that big. Like, I'm a tall guy myself. I'm 6'4". Like, I get it. Being that big, you kind of leave yourself open for little nagging things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes my knees will just fucking give out on me for a couple days just because there's so much there. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even nearly putting the level of stress that he's putting on them as a professional athlete. So you really need to think, especially in a game like baseball where it's 162 games, and you can definitely say that baseball is not the most taxing sport out of all of them, but 162 games playing it, Aaron Judge plays the game as hard as it can be played.
Oh yeah. He is not afraid to run full speed into that wall if he's got to.
And he's done it.
I can't even be mad at him because if I played baseball, I would do the same thing.
But you got to just wonder if just playing that style, being as big as he is, well, it has helped him in a multitude of ways, might also be the thing that he can't get over because just the injuries will keep popping up.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair to him, he's not even close to the only Yankee out.
Oh God, no.
Like we have it at all three levels. Bullpen,
Yeah.
starting pitching, just the regular lineup.
I mean, they should probably change the name to the minor league affiliate from the Wilkes-Barre Yankees now? Scranton Yankees?
I want to say the Rail Riders.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It is the Rail Riders. They should probably just change that name to Next Man Up because literally that's what's happening.
It's true. And it has been for the last 3 years or so.
And, I mean, give them kids some credit because they come up and they've been performing.
It just sucks that a lot of it is like right now we have Judge, Gleyber Torres, DJ LeMahieu.
Mm-hmm. I think Paxton,
and Chapman, I think, is out, or is he back?
Yeah.
He at least was out for a while. I believe he's still out, but I'm not 100% on that at the moment. There's just so many injuries to keep track of. But yeah, just really key pieces to what they do. Maybe not Paxton because he hasn't been playing well to start off, but that could be part of the injury. But going into the year, he was supposed to be a big part of what you're doing.
Right.
We still don't have Severino back. As much as I don't really care on a personal level, Domingo Germán's still out. Which, again, I don't really care on a personal level because fuck you for domestic violence. I know, hot take of the day. Yeah, but it's not looking good for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can catch the swing right leading into the playoffs of people healing up, which is why I don't mind what Aaron Boone's doing with Aaron Judge, saying, oh, we're going to keep him out twice as long because we're just going to make sure. I don't care if he feels good for 2 weeks. At the end of that 2 weeks, he'll probably still feel good too if he's not putting that strain on it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure this is healed up as much as it can be before we put him back out there to really make the run.
You gotta, as a manager, or a coach, you gotta protect the players from themselves. Because players, we love to play. We'll find any excuse to play. We might be, arms hanging off, got a huge wound on our side. Give us some duct tape. We'll be like, we're fine. Put some dirt on it. Rub some salt in it. We're good. We'll keep playing. You literally have to carry them off the field. And what better way to do that than, hey, we'll sit you out just a little bit longer.
Just to make sure, because I feel like they've tried to rush him back in the past few years and he keeps re-injuring it.
Mm-hmm. Hire a yogi. That's what they got to do.
They got to what?
Hire a yogi, like a yoga master, and just have them all do yoga. Keep the muscles nice and loose.
I mean, don't get me wrong, stretching helps, but that was just the most random take, Dev.
It just popped in my head. Had to get it out there.
All right, moving on. In the sports world, just a little side note that we thought was cool. Lionel Messi has told Barcelona that he wants to leave. And I guess he has an exit clause in his contract to allow him to do so, like kind of forcing a trade almost.
Mm-hmm. Actually, not even. It's like, so I kind of read up on it, and his last contract, he put in, like you said, an exit clause that if he gave the team enough notice that he wanted to leave, they would not have to buy him out, or he would not have to like pay back like whatever the transfer fee would be. Now, with the current state of the world and La Liga getting suspended and everything, it comes out recently, last week, that hey, my time in Barca is done. I want to leave.
Which is crazy because he's been there for almost 20 years.
Yeah. Like you hear the name, you hear Barca, you think Messi. Exactly. Like they go hand in hand. And Barcelona is trying to, I think, file grievance saying that they shouldn't have to pay, that there should be some sort of transfer fee for wherever he signs. And I guess Messi's agents are trying to argue, listen, we gave you enough notice. Like, the season ended when it did, and we're letting you know now. It's not like the pandemic kind of messed everything up. So at the very moment, that's in limbo. But reports are saying that Man City is the favorite to land him.
And that's the real reason I brought up this topic, because
fucking Smurfs.
Is as much as I don't give a fuck about Man City, I'm a Chelsea fan. If I had I don't follow the Premier League like I used to, but I was a Chelsea fan when I did. Still am. But Man City owns New York City FC, and apparently Man City's 3-year plan is after 3 years of playing in the Premier League for Man City, he would then be moved to the MLS to New York City FC, which I would go fucking crazy for. Messi's been probably my favorite player for years, and I don't care if he's getting older. In the MLS, he could still make some magic happen, I believe anyway.
Easily.
Even in 3 years. And I'm just that we really need a veteran presence like that. Not to saying that there aren't any on New York City have team like NYCFC right now. But a veteran presence of Messi's caliber, it's kind of like the reason Tampa Bay signed Tom Brady, even as old as he is, because just having that mind, having that person be who has seen everything in the highest competitions at the highest of levels, winning championships and doing all this, just having that mind in a facility can change a facility.
Oh yeah. And as much as I would hate to move, because it's a rival to my boys, the Red Bulls, not only do I believe that he's going to be a playmaker still when he's 37 and tearing it up, but like you said, he's seen everything. He's done a lot. He's going to be able to pass that knowledge on to the youth of that club, and could potentially make them a powerhouse in the East.
That's putting it lightly. I would love to see a move like that happen. Yeah, and that's soccer talk.
But kudos to Messi for coming up with that kind of contract. You got to be a G to be like, yo, every year I want a potential exit clause.
Right?
After the season's done. Who thought of that? Because whoever did, I give you a round of applause for that.
No, I agree. So last Last real big thing I can really think of at the moment to talk about is Earl Thomas. Yeah, just doesn't just the whole
It's
situation just not look good for
crazy.
him. Just does not look good for him, seeing as how he left Seattle, which I was kind of for. Didn't want to extend him, ended up getting hurt, flipping him off, being like, fuck you should have paid me, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
That was cool.
Don't
But
forget,
now,
before he got hurt, he was also trying to go to Dallas too. Like after that game, he went it to the locker room. I was like, "Yo, Dallas, come get me. I'm available."
um, yeah, so ended up getting into a fight with a rookie safety, I believe,
I think so.
um, over like a blown coverage in practice or something like that. Um, but it starts leaking out after all this and getting sent home for the incident that the players on the Ravens are kind of in favor of him getting traded or them moving on or however this is supposed to go. Um and just starting to look like a problem as like as great a player as he is, but like a locker room problem, like kind of in the way people have painted To or
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't know the ins and outs. Like, I'm not gonna speak crazy on a situation I don't necessarily know. Like, I wasn't there, but just looking on how he went out from the past two teams, like especially teams that were good. Like, these are
And
not bum
not
teams.
and not just good teams. These teams were well respected. Like their front office does their due diligence and make sure they handle their problems.
And then Baltimore just straight up released him, and after an All Pro year,
Mm-hmm.
someone they could have gotten at least some very good draft capital back from, but it
Mm-hmm.
just wasn't worth the time. And they had something in his, I guess there was something in his contract that if he got terminated for conduct detrimental to the team, that they that his guaranteed money was null.
Yep, but we all know what's going to happen. Earl Thomas is going to file a grievance, which is going to be dragged out. So, I mean, if the judge rules in favor of Thomas, he's walking away with $10 million for barely playing in Baltimore, and then he could go sign with another team for the veteran minimum. Sorry.
Oh my god! Imagine he goes and signs with the Seahawks.
Yo, yo,
I don't think they have super amount of cap room right now. But if they could make it happen, just Jamal Adams and Earl Thomas just like telling their teams to fuck off and then becoming the greatest safety pairing the world
it,
has ever known.
it'd be funny though because he left Seattle, and I'm pretty sure they would not.
I know
They
we
would,
were just talking about that, but that'd be just fucking crazy.
but
This is this is not a theory that I think is in any way, shape, or form fully thought through and whatever. Like I know it's a crazy theory, but I'm just saying that both players told their teams to fuck off and then become the greatest safety pairing ever. Like that would just be the craziest story.
you know who's in need of a safety right now?
Who is that?
The New York Giants.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't, but I also didn't
I
think
think
they
he
were going to
wants,
trade Odell after they paid him, but I was wrong about that one.
but like I don't think he would do that. I think he wants to go to like a good team.
Well, supposedly Dallas is already like
And like
off.
I didn't even mean that as a shot, even though it was kind of a shot.
Oh, it's okay. I know where we stand.
um, like, I don't think he'd go to the Jets either. Don't get me wrong. He definitely seems to want to go to the Cowboys.
But Jerry Jones has come out and said we're not interested, or Mike McCarthy, I think, has said one of them has said we're not interested in him.
Ye-
But we all
yeah,
know that.
McCarthy said that, but Jerry Jones has come out and said straight up, like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck he talking about.
Yeah. So
So,
someone's blowing smoke.
but
Or
Jerry
Jerry.
Jones is known for making those kinds of decisions, like, hey, this is what we're doing, whether you like it or not.
Mhm.
I'm Jerry Jones. Um, and that's something that's reportedly caused a lot of tension between him and his coaches. Like Jason Garrett's talked about it. Um,
I
I
think
forget the
Bill
name.
Parcells,
Yeah, Bill Parcells. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name right there, but probably just because I'm dumb.
legendary coach.
Yeah, they. So he has a history of just superseding what the coaches want for what he thinks, and
Mhm.
sometimes it works out good, sometimes it doesn't. But I definitely think it's still a definite possible landing spot for him.
And I feel like that's really the only team that could use like safety help that's pretty good, or like at least a playoff caliber team.
At least ones that can afford it anyway.
Yes.
Um, you have anything else you want to touch on today, Devin?
Uh, no, I think sports wise, that's about it. I mean, news broke last night that Chadwick Boseman passed away of colon cancer. 4-year battle with that, and there's a big complete shock. I mean, the man kept it super low key, super private, and was still banging out awesome movies. Everything from like 42, Thurgood, Give It Up, the James Brown docu pick. Can't forget about Black Panther. All those movies while he was going through what he was going through.
And no one knew. That was the
Yeah,
craziest part.
and like just knocking those movies out. Like, damn, he was a great actor.
It's just the thing that really gets me about it is the fact that just no one knew.
Mm-hmm.
He he's been fighting this for like 6 years, they say. So through the whole like Black Panther and his whole Marvel series, which are, from what you hear from the actors, are very taxing things to shoot.
Oh yeah.
Through the James Brown biopic, I think it was, or
Mm-hmm.
just all these other things that you've seen him in, and he's battling this. No one knows. No one knew until he died.
Mm-hmm.
It would just came completely out of left field, and I think those are the worst when you have no lead up.
Yep.
Like sometimes, like you'll see celebrities get cancer, like he did. They'll put out a statement about it, and then they'll keep posting, making it seem like they're all good and they're winning, and like, you know what I mean, like treatment's going well, and then they die, and it's kind of a shock there. But at least you had that idea of like they had cancer, they had this, they had that. Where with this, you had no idea, and then all of a sudden, he's just gone.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think just makes it sting just that much more because you weren't able to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Just an incredible actor, just from all accounts, an incredible person. Just in all interviews or anything you've seen him with, he just comes off as an extremely like personable guy, just a guy like who's just fun to hang out with, fun to be around.
Yep.
And it's just terrible he was taken from us when he was.
So we send our condolences to him, his family, all his friends, everyone that he touched.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
All right. So that was the most depressing episode of the Basement Boys podcast we've had, which is a feat because we've had some pretty depressing ones.
We're going for the all-time record.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna just log off this and cry for a bit, and then maybe get on with my day. Yeah. So this was the Basement Boys podcast. I'm Chris Gray. That's Devin Mitchell. See ya.
Deuces.
Welcome to the basement.